The average job seeker in 2025 will submit over 200 applications before landing a single interview. But here's what nobody's telling you. It's not because the market is competitive. It's because 83% of those applications will be rejected by AI before a human ever sees them. And today, I'm breaking down how artificial intelligence has completely transformed the hiring landscape and why it's making your job search more depressing than ever. Imagine spending hours crafting the perfect resume and cover letter, only for it to disappear into a digital black hole. No feedback, no human interaction, just an automated rejection email that arrives suspiciously fast. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. You're not fighting against other candidates. You're fighting against an algorithm designed to find reasons to say no. Think of the modern hiring process as a video game where no one has told you the rules.
Oh my god.
Oh really? He doesn't know what to do! He doesn't know what to do, huh?
You keep losing round after round, but you have no idea why. The game designers, in this case, the companies using AI know exactly how the system works, but they're not sharing the cheat code. According to MIT Technology Review's 2024 study, AI screening tools now evaluate over 90% of Fortune 1000 job applications. The human gatekeeper has been replaced by algorithms, and most job seekers don't even realize they're playing an entirely different game. I mean, when you submit your application, it first encounters what's called an applicant tracking system, or ATS. These aren't just simple keyword scanners anymore. They're sophisticated AI platforms that evaluate everything from your career progression to your writing style. Imagine a bouncer at an exclusive club who's been programmed to only let in people wearing blue shirts. It doesn't matter how qualified you are, how well you can dance, or what you might contribute to the party inside. If you're not wearing blue, you're not getting in. That's essentially how these systems work, except the blue shirt could be anything from having the exact years of experience to using specific industry jargon in your resume. The Stanford Digital Economy Lab found that these systems typically reject between 75 and 88% of applications automatically. Think about that for a moment. For every 100 people who apply, only 12 to 25 will have their application seen by human eyes. The rest are filtered out by an algorithm that, according to the same study, often uses criteria with little correlation to actual job performance. This kind of reminds me of my dating life in 2025 too, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, what happens if you're lucky enough to make it past this first digital bouncer? According to the Society for Human Resource Management, nearly 70% of companies now use AI-powered assessments to further screen candidates. These range from gamified cognitive tests to personality evaluations that claim to predict your workplace behavior. It's like being told you passed the first round of a cooking competition only to discover the second round involves juggling flaming torches. It has almost nothing to do with your cooking skills, but somehow it's being used to determine if you'd make a good chef. For those who make it to the interview stage, there's yet another AI hurdle. You're being judged not just on what you say, but how many times you blink, the subtle movements of your facial muscles, or whether your tone of voice matches what the AI considers enthusiastic. According to Gartner's 2024 HR Technology Survey, over 40% of large companies now use AI to analyze video interviews in exactly this way. Literally makes no sense. A particularly troubling Carnegie Mellon University study found that these systems showed significant bias against candidates with speech impediments, accents, or neurodivergent communication styles. You're being disqualified from a race because you run with a different stride than what the judges are used to seeing, even if you're faster than everyone else. The psychological impact on job seekers has been devastating. According to the American Psychological Association, over 70% of recent job seekers reported symptoms of anxiety directly related to automated hiring processes, and who can blame them? You have no idea if anybody is even out there anymore. And the one time you finally make it past initial rounds, here comes AI Becky telling you, nah, you moved your lips too much. We're good. What's particularly absurd about this situation is how arbitrary these AI rejections can be. The Wall Street Journal published an investigation where they submitted identical resumes to 100 companies, changing only the names and addresses. They found that resumes with addresses from higher income zip codes were 41% more likely to pass AI screening than identical resumes from lower income areas. Imagine being rejected from a job because you live on the wrong side of town, not because you can't do the work, not because you lack qualifications, but because an algorithm has decided your zip code doesn't correlate with success. It's digital redlining, plain and simple. In another revealing case, researchers found that an AI hiring system was giving preference to candidates who use certain font styles in their resumes. The system had been trained on historical hiring data where successful candidates happened to use specific fonts more frequently. This had nothing to do with qualifications. It was pure coincidence that it became codified into the algorithm. It's that arbitrary, that disconnected from what actually matters. Perhaps most concerning is how these systems are affecting diversity in the workplace. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, companies using AI hiring tools saw a 27% decrease in workforce diversity over a 3-year period. The researchers concluded this was because the algorithms were trained on historical data that reflected past biases biases in hiring. Imagine a photography contest where all the judges have only ever seen black and white photos. When you submit a color photograph, they reject it not because it's bad, but because it doesn't match their limited understanding of what photography should look like. That's essentially what's happening with AI hiring systems trained on non-diverse historical data. What makes this situation particularly frustrating is the lack of transparency. According to the Information Technology and Innovation Foundation, nearly 90% of companies using AI hiring tools do not disclose to candidates that they're being evaluated by algorithms. Even more concerning, most hiring managers surveyed couldn't fully explain how their own AI systems made decisions. It's like applying to a school where your application is graded by a secret committee using secret criteria, and even the admissions officers don't know how decisions are made. Would you consider that fair? I mean, would anyone? Here's where things get interesting. Some forward-thinking companies are actually moving away from algorithmic hiring. According to Harvard Business Review, organizations that reduced their reliance on AI screening saw significant improvements in employee retention and workplace innovation. It turns out humans are still better at recognizing human potential than algorithms are. Think of it like this. If you wanted to find the next great musician, would you use an algorithm that analyzes the technical precision of their playing? Or would you want to hear them perform and feel the emotional impact of their music? Some things can't be reduced to data points, and human potential is one of them. So what can you do in this algorithmic job market? First, understand that you're not just competing against other candidates, you're competing against a system designed to filter you out.
Hell no.
This isn't about your worth or your abilities, it's about learning to navigate a flawed system. According to the Journal of Vocational Behavior, job seekers who understood how AI hiring systems worked were 43% more likely to receive interview offers than those who didn't. It's like knowing that the secret knock to get into the speakeasy is 3 short taps followed by 2 long ones. The knock has nothing to do with whether you'd be a good patron, but it's still the difference between getting in and being left outside. The World Economic Forum suggests that networking and employee referrals have become even more valuable in the age of algorithmic hiring. Their analysis found that referred candidates were 14 times more likely to bypass AI screening entirely. It's like having a friend who can walk you past the bouncer straight into the club without having to wear the blue shirt. I want you to remember something important. A rejection from an AI system is not a rejection of your worth, your skills, or your potential. It's more like being filtered out by a metal detector because you're wearing the wrong kind of belt buckle. It's arbitrary, it's impersonal, and it says nothing about what you could contribute to a workplace. The reality of AI in the 2025 job market is undeniably depressing, but understanding the system is the first step to navigating it successfully. The rules of job hunting have fundamentally changed, and only those who understand the new game will thrive in it. But what's your experience with job hunting recently? Have you noticed the shift to more automated processes? Drop a comment below. I'm genuinely curious to hear your stories, and if you found this information valuable, consider subscribing for more insights on navigating the modern workplace.